Hey there, everybody, Pal here, and welcome back to Final Thoughts. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Operation Flashpoint Red River. This is a third take, I guess, on the Operation Flashpoint. It's the third iteration in them of a kind of what is now a light milsim game. So before we get into this, the first thing we want to get out of the way is if you have problems with cursing, foul language, turn this video off and leave. Not because of me, but it's in the game itself. You are a soldier, part of a Marine platoon, and your staff sergeant who's in charge of it and everything talks like he was written by an 8-year-old who thinks he's a Marine, and he just went a little overboard with F-bombs and all this and all that. So if that's something you're sensitive to, you don't want to watch the rest of this video, because unfortunately there's no way for me to show the game without that going to be coming up. Okay, so Operation Flashpoint. This series goes back quite a ways. It's only actually had 3 games plus an expansion pack, but a ton of modding originally done. Operation Flashpoint was originally done by Bohemia Interactive, who went on to, after this, they did the Arma series, which is then developed into Arma 2, Arma 3. It's the game engine, the base game that the DayZ is coming off of, and everything, and it's really the preliminary milsim franchise in video gaming. Before all that happened, though, the first game they did, which would have been back in 2001, was Operation Flashpoint. Now, that game, like a lot of Bohemian games, was real rough around the edges, had quite a few problems, but due to the fact that it was a large open map with the possibility for a lot of modding and everything, the community dealt with it because there was really nothing else like it. So that was the original Operation Flashpoint. After that, Codemasters ended up getting the franchise. Whoever published the original Operation Flashpoint, I'm not seeing who that was right here. Whoever published it maintained rights to it, and Bohemia didn't get to keep the rights. So they went away from this and went on to Arma. The franchise, or the license, got transferred over to Codemasters. So Codemasters then, in 2009, came out with Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. And this was meant to be kind of a middle ground type game. It wasn't, at this point Arma 2, I believe, was out. At least Arma 1 was. It wasn't going to be a pure milsim like that, but it was going to kind of be more milsim than, say, Battlefield, something kind of in the middle. And it flopped terribly. It had a lot of problems. It was also kind of in the heyday. This was like the big top of the military arcade, what I would call Team Fortress, not Team Fortress, Unreal Tournament, like the arcade arena shooters with the military skin on, because that's really what Call of Duty is. Call of Duty is not a military game. It is an Unreal Tournament type arena shooter with a modern military skin over top of it. So don't lie to yourselves. That's what it is. You're playing Quake with a military skin with some of the less jumping and stuff. But that, anyway, I digress. So this was the heyday of that. They brought out Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising, and it flopped bad. Not because of, well, because of that, and also it had some real technical issues. It basically came out like 3 months early. It needed 3 more months of polish. The AI was terrible, and a big part of these milsim games, at least the single-player side, is you're running around with a team, and a lot of that team is controlled by AI, and the AI, your guys would just stand there getting shot at, and they wouldn't take cover, and it flopped for a lot of reasons like that. But it did have some of, to give it some credit, it had some of the absolute best gun mechanics I've ever seen in a game. I'll still go back and play Dragon Rising every once in a while. It's insane. And what they do with the audio assets, for example, if you are in a building with a wooden floor and you shoot, the sound your casing makes as it hits the wooden floor is different than if you're outside and hits gravel. It's a different sound. It's really well done in those areas. So the gun mechanics were really great. So that was 2009. After that, this game came out in 2011. And this was done to be kind of a little more streamlined than Dragon Rising. So Dragon Rising puts you in a kind of an island that give you an objective, and you'd have to pull out your map and you'd have to figure your way to the objective. You were the squad leader. Or you were the platoon leader, I guess would be more accurate. So there was once you were on land, basically other than a little bit of radio comms, there was not a whole lot of direction. for Operation Flashpoint Red River, they brought it a little closer to the Battlefield games. So you're going to get into the game, you're going to get your mission, but you're going to have a platoon leader riding along with you. They're going to throw up waypoints along the ground. Now you can either follow them directly, or you could find a somewhat way around to get to the final point if you'd like to, and everything. And that would be... You could go off mission a little bit without failing. If you go too far off mission, there is a fail state where things just go all wrong. So they kind of Battlefieldized the campaign and everything. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump into it. So this game, actually all of the Operation Flashpoints, I believe, at least the last two, the Dragon Rising and Red River, have come out on console also. So a little bit of a gripe here. I can't actually click anything, hit space. I have to actually hit the return button on the keyboard. Alright, so this game did come out in 2011, which basically means these multiplayer options, fireteam engagements, and join game, are pretty much dead. Unless you know somebody that is currently playing it, or you can sign it up, we could sit here all day and we'll never find a multiplayer match. So basically the only thing left is the campaign. In the upper left-hand corner, or I'm sorry, right. I do know my right from my left. Upper right-hand corner here, this is my current fire team setup. So this first one is me as the player, and then I have 3 other members to my fire team. What you can do is, in join game, is other people can take part of these fire team guys and remove the AI and play through those. Which was, when it first came out, there was actually some fun to be had there. It almost made the game a little broken, because 4 player controlled people in a fire team was so much better than 1 guy and 3 AI bots. The game was almost brokenly easy, at least that way. It's also, we're going to jump in here a little bit real quick in the options. I want to show you something. Under game settings, if you are not a big first-person shooter on PC because you don't like keyboard and mouse, this does come with default sticky aim and aim assist for controller. You can plug in a 360 controller, it'll detect it right away, and you can use this, and it works fairly well on controller. I prefer keyboard and mouse, so I'm going to stick with that, but it'll play just like it would on an Xbox 360 or whatever if you have a dual analog stick, dual trigger controller. So we got that. And back down here, apparently my controller is plugged in. Yep, you can see A to confirm, B to cancel. I'm going to unplug my controller to get rid of that, and we'll go back. I was playing Dark Souls. Other than that, we'll go back again. Nope, we don't want to go this way, we're going to go back. Okay. So before we actually jump into the game, there is a little bit of a progress system here. Not so much in terms of choosing, well, I'll show you, and it'll make it a little bit easier to understand. So in your fire team, you can see we all have these different icons. My icon is, I am currently a scout or a sniper. I'm a level 5 scout, and as I'm going through and leveling up, I'm unlocking these additional weapons that I can use as a scout. I roll as the scout, so by default, I would be the rifleman. Normally, you're the rifleman by default. You have a grenade, a grenadier, a scout, and an auto rifleman, or your heavy assault guy. The AI does not work very well as a scout. Basically, they'll shoot anything out to about 150 yards if you tell them to engage. Much beyond that, the AI doesn't sense them. So you'd be sitting there with an M16 and you can see these guys 200, 250 yards out, and your scout just sits there picking his nose. So the first thing I do is I change out my AI squad mate from scout to rifleman, or any class, but in order to keep a little bit of uniformity or something, I go ahead and I make it so now we still have one of every class in here. And then I change myself out to scout, and so forth. Now, when I first started off, this was how the scout loadout was. It was a pistol, I got silence, with an M14 DMR. And this worked alright. This M14 is pretty good out to about 200, 250 yards. But it doesn't do so well in close quarters. And when I played through, as soon as I hit rank 2, and you do this through playing the game, I equipped an M16 with iron sights. This way I have a close quarters weapon, not exactly ideally close quarters, but a fairly close quarters weapon, and I have a long range weapon, giving me pretty much the ability to play wherever, whenever. Then I just now, recently, or last one, I unlocked the M4. And I'm actually going to take the M4, is this red dot sight, with the red dot sight. The M4, if you don't know, it's a carbine, a little bit shorter barrel. You can actually see it here. It allows for better, quicker close quarters turning and aiming down sights and everything than the M16. So we'll take the M4, we'll keep this, and so forth. Now we do have a few other options out here for our equip load as we go through. These are binoculars, these are an IR strobe. We have claymores, and later on we'll get grenades and stuff. Just for the scout, there's not a whole lot. There are also these special abilities and everything that you unlock as you go through. We're rank 5, we're on 6, so we won't get anything till 7. But these are little perks. Like this one increases my my XP gain. This one allows me to spot targets further out, and what that'll do is when I see a target, my guy will automatically call out so people know where he is, and he shows up on this little rangefinder thing that we have. And this one is just vision tracking. These don't really bring a whole lot to the game. But then you have this, and you can do this for every single class. Now each class has their own unlock tree. So if I have to use the F3 and F4 because there's nowhere for me to click with the mouse, I can scroll through and you can see the auto rifleman, he's got the saw, the M249, and he'll unlock other weapons as he goes down. I haven't played this guy yet. He has his own set of options for grenades. He gets a smoke grenade eventually, claymores and so forth, and then he gets his own perks also. The regular rifleman starts off with the M16. What is that? That's a red dot sight. Eventually you can get the M4, and I think he'll get a shotgun and a few other items in a little bit. And then the Grenadier has the underslung grenade launcher and an MP5, MP5, not a 45, MP5 for close quarters, and so forth. So a little bit of what do I want to say here? A little bit of right now, none of this stuff is unlocked for a lot of these classes. What happened was I've played through this game 100% at least twice. I've completed it. Basically had every class completely unlocked and opened up for entire use. But it doesn't have cloud saving, so when I did my new computer and upgraded my hard drives and everything to the new RAID, I didn't transfer the old save files over. So I'm redoing the game as I've been going through to make this video. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and we will confirm, and we're going to move back. There's one other thing we get beyond class setup. There's also some player progress. We're going to come in here, and what you do is, as you go through the levels, you're going to get medals, depending on how efficiently you accomplish your objectives and everything, how many people are alive, how much damage, your kills, your accuracy. You get these different medals and everything, which will supply with points that you can then put into these different options. I'm actually going to use the keyboard here because it works better with the arrow keys for this, and so forth. Now these will apply to any class if they're equipping whatever it is if they have equipped a weapon or an item that benefits from whatever you're leveling up. So tactical awareness, that improves everybody, endurance improves everybody, sprint improves everybody. Readiness is how quickly you can stow and pull your weapon. Assault rifle handling is how quickly you can bring the weapon from the mid sling up to battle ready, and this is how well you aim. So this is all we really have right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put 2 points in endurance and 1 more in aim, and we will confirm that. Alright, before we jump into the game, let's get something out of the next little part out of the way. So, as I was telling you a little bit before, going back to the first one Codemasters did, Dragon Rising, basically what they did was they dropped you on this island, and they'd give you an objective, and you'd have anywhere up to like 6 square kilometers, however you say that, area that your mission would take place in. And you would go you'd pull out your map and be like, our objective's over here, and we're supposed to go there and do this, and you have to figure your way over there. There would be no real guidance once you got into it other than that. And so the players would go off, and you get into a firefight. In the middle of this firefight, you'd blow up a Jeep. It would turn out that Jeep is the only way for you to get a vehicle to drive from point A to point B. So now that the Jeep's blown up, that means now you're on foot for the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes as you run across this island because you don't have anything to drive. And it would be very boring. You would just run. And then you'd get to the location you're supposed to blow up, and you would see an LAV, a light assault vehicle. And the LAV would just be packing all this firepower and blow you away. And you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, it turns out, way back at the first point, there was supposed to be a rocket launcher you were supposed to pick up, or it wouldn't be a rocket launcher, it would probably be a, I can't think what they're called, the missile launch system that you aim. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Turns out there was a rocket back there you're supposed to pick up. Well, now you can either run all the way back, or you quit. And that's where a lot of people quit the game. So to keep this from happening, what they've done is they've taken a lot of that control out of the main player's hands. And as I said, where you were the platoon leader before, now you're just the leader of this fire team. And what's going to happen is we have a staff sergeant who's in charge of the platoon or the squad, and he's giving out orders. And what will happen once we load into the game here is we're going to likely start out, almost every map starts out either you riding in the back of a Humvee or riding in the back of a helicopter with this mission briefing that takes anywhere from 3 minutes to upwards of 8 minutes long, where you're just riding along and this staff sergeant's just yelling at you and he's telling you your objectives, which is all great and all, except what could have been summarized in 45 seconds can take 5 minutes on average. And you can't skip it. You just have to sit there and wait for it. And the guy's explaining to the way of life, the way of the Corps, and hoorah this and all that. And it's just, it's one of the strengths of the game is you're not going to get lost like the old ways. But what they did to keep you from getting lost, like in the previous game, is also one of the weakest parts, because there's just this unbelievably boring amount of gameplay. And once that happens, you'll ride in the Humvee, you'll get up to your location, they'll let you out of the Humvee, and then you'll engage in your firefight or whatever's going to happen, and that'll last 15 to 20 minutes or so. Then the Humvees will pull back up, and you'll climb back into them, and you'll have another 3-minute trip as you move on to the next point. And then he'll talk to you again and everything, and then you'll get out and do it. And this is all in the same mission. So you'll sometimes have 2 or 3 points in the game where you're just riding along with nothing to do. And it really, really drags down the flow of the game. Okay, so as I was saying before, there are... I do not have the game fully unlocked. Right now we're only up to day 4. So each one of these is a mission. Each mission takes on average, like this first mission took maybe 30 minutes. This one took about 35 or so. This one actually took... No, this one was pretty quick. This one was only about 30 minutes, but... No, this one right here, yeah, number 3, was actually like a 45-minute mission. Some of these missions can take quite long. If you start dying, you could easily spend an hour on every one mission, and so forth. We're going to go ahead and we're going to load into this one. Now, there'll probably be an initial cutscene, so there's a cutscene. We'll see what happens once we get in here. Good, we got all this, got all that. Start mission. Yeah. So here's a cutscene, which is basically the commanding general or colonel explaining what's going on. This we're going to go ahead and skip. Alright, here we are in game. I'm actually going to try to talk over the audio. I've had a few times when I'm recording, the game will lock up if the DX story is running during those load periods. If I start recording once I'm in, it's absolutely fine. If I'm not recording at all, it's absolutely fine. It's just something with the recording and the loading. So I can't really knock the game against that. But here you can see, there's my staff sergeant, and he's yelling out all kinds of orders. I'm actually probably talking a little loud right now, because he's in my ears, and I'm trying to counter that as I explain. We'll let him talk for a little bit.
Fight's gonna be won in inches, not yards. So here's the tactical cinch. Outlaw 1 and 3 are pushing up the valley, so they're gonna take the Tajis head on. Draw those bitches out in a frontal engagement at the mouth of the valley. We're inserting on the flank. We will hump over the mountains to the end of the valley, calling fire support on the Tajis. This is a multi-service operation, so the chair force is on tap with fire support when we need it. And we will need it. Trust me on that, Gospel.
Sounds like my kind of fight.
We'll link up with the rest of Outlaw, then push through the village and clear out anything we find. Do not underestimate these men. Tajis are on the defensive, which means they're not deep and prepared, so they'll be cutthroat and ruthless. However, those from bounty...
Alright, that's enough of him talking. I'd like to skip it and get in, but we can't, unfortunately. I might edit some of this out of the video. This is one of the shorter ride-ins. Some of the ride-ins take way too long. Now, you may be saying, alright, I've been hampering on the game and everything for quite some time. Why am I playing this? Why am I doing a final thoughts? I'm doing a final thoughts on this because once we actually get in and we're in good quality firefights, there's really no game quite like this, and it's actually really enjoyable. Once we hit the ground here, I gotta turn down the volume a little bit so I'm not trying to yell over top of it. We'll get there in a moment. Come on, let's go. Get out of the helicopter. Let's go out of the chopper. Let me out. Alright, hold on a sec. Let's, options, audio, take that down to say 3. There we go. And confirm. And back. So, here we are. We're now in game. We have my fire team, which are these three guys right here. And you can see them in the lower left-hand corner. There's my fire team's status symbols. And you can already see I have these waypoints leading me up over this mountain. Now, the map is actually still fairly big. It's not as big as the original Operation Flashpoint or as much as Dragon Rising. But they are relatively well spread out and everything. And they do vary from, you know, right now we're moving up into this little canyon area. There's times where we'll be taking on, I'm going to pull out the M4 here. There's times where you'll be going into little towns, clearing downs with pure close quarter combat and everything. There's a nice bit of variety there. Now, my fire team, I can actually issue commands to by holding down the caps lock key. I bring up this radial menu with multiple options. I can move them, I can change their rules of engagement, I can have them follow me, which they should be doing right now, and so forth. And with that, I can move my team. There you go, one down. With that, I can move them around. And they work relatively well. The AI still leaves a good bit to be desired from. But it works better than it did at one point. I'm actually going to have my guys move up here, see if they draw any fire while I sneak around, just making sure there's nobody. Okay. There are about 1/3 of the structures, I'd say, maybe more like 1/4 of the structures, are actually enterable. And the enemies will garrison them. This one looks like it can be attacked. Alright, we're going to move them up there.
25 meters east.
Can be garrisoned and used as defensive structures. It randomly happens. Normally you'll know the building when you see it. They tend to be the little bit larger ones are capable of that. And they bring a nice little change to it. They also give you a good spot for setting up fields of fire and everything downrange. So, why do I like this game? What I find is, compared to Battlefield or Call of Duty or everything with a single player, this single player is much slower, much more deliberate, and really takes some pacing. I actually didn't know that guy was there. I was just guessing there was going to be somebody around that corner. Because of that, you know, it's not a great single player game, but when we've had a lot of the same recently, we've had a lot of these campaigns where you're being drugged through the campaign. Follow this guy, get over here, do that, open this door. Well, now it's nice to get to a game where I can take my time and I can play it the way I want to play it through that. And that's why I kind of like that. Now, we do have another game, Arma 3, and there was Arma 2 around the time this came out. And you might say, well, why don't you play one of those? Well, what this does is it finds a nice middle ground, somewhere in between the two of those. The controls and everything are a lot more like Battlefield. I can quickly aim down sights. I'm not worried about inventory management and everything. I don't have to keep track of how many rounds I have in my magazines. You know, if in Arma, you can swap your magazine early. Well, that magazine will still only have 8 rounds in it when you go back to it. So you can cycle through your entire magazine load, and you'll have just this low end. Whoa, I'm getting shot already.
No shooting coming through.
Alright. we hit a checkpoint, unfortunately. I'll explain that in a moment. We'll get there. So, that's kind of why I like it. It's not... It's more milsim. Where are you? I got called him out, but I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Yep, you're down. That's why I like the scout rifle. So for a game, you know, you can... A Call of Duty player, or any first-person shooter player, could pick up this game and play it on PC with keyboard and mouse. If you can play Battlefield on computer with PC with keyboard and mouse, you can play this game. That is not true with Arma. Arma has a certain level of where you just have to learn the mechanics of the game and how they manage their inventory, how they manage their controls, reading the map and everything. Here, I can just hit M, I can see the map. I don't have to pull the map out, put it in my hand, get my compass out, orient it and everything, which I love about Arma, but there's some times where I don't want all that. Holy crap, okay, I'm shot again. Where's my other rifle? Where is he?
Stick a tampon in it. Give
Did
me
I not hit
the
him?
light, Doc.
There we
In
go.
the ground.
Now he's down. Okay, so the damage model is a bit better than, well, unique on what it is. If you look in the lower right-hand corner now, you'll see there's a circle with my body in it with my arm yellow. So I got shot in the arm. Now my screen's slowly to flash. What's happening is I'm losing blood. If I hold down E now, I can bandage up my arm and I will stop bleeding out. But my arm is still wounded, and that's going to slow down how quickly I can bring up my weapon, how quickly I aim and everything. Overall, it's going to slow me down. If I get shot in the leg, I can't sprint anymore. Well, if I hold E down again, now I'll actually bandage it up and heal myself. So there's not regenerating health, but there is unlimited health within the game. However, you have to manage to do it while in combat and everything without getting shot at, and that's where some of the challenge comes from. Can you find enough cover, bandage yourself and everything, or have a squad mate? Because you can actually call on one of your teammates can come over and bandage you. And there are incapacitating shots where you'll get shot and you're unconscious, laid on the ground, and your teammates need to provide, covering fire, get out there to your body, and rescue you before you bleed out.
Team to me.
We don't want any crazy fucking surprises, so make sure you check every building, Bravo.
Right? So there's that.
I've got
Now,
a silhouette. 75 meters east.
oh,
Target
nice
pacified.
shot. Woo! Somebody's shooting. That came from right there.
Rifleman, 100 meters east.
Get down. There's also no quick drops on the ground or anything. It takes a long time to crouch and stand up, as if you were going to actually...
No way I want to do that again.
Where are you guys? Come on, hurry up.
We've got a job to do, so let's get that first compound cleared out. Yes, Sergeant.
Target pacified. AT
Comes.
gunner, 75 meters east. Reloading.
Come on, where is that guy?
Rifleman, 50 meters east.
Be nice if my teammates would get up here. They're not great, but they're normally better than this. I'm going to flank this way. What was I saying? The other thing that happens with the health model, though,
Rifleman, 100 meters northeast. I'm taking fire over here.
Enemy contact, north. Dead.
is there are these random checkpoints that happen with that, and they're kind of the save points and everything, where if you fail, the game will pick up from those points.
In the ground.
But when those happen, any damage done automatically and instantly gets 100% healed. And that was what happened with that first round. Oop, there we go. So I'm incapacitated, and I'm going to call for a
This is
corpsman.
Kirby. I need you over here, Doc.
Rifleman, 100
So,
meters northeast.
if you cross one of these checkpoints, you instantly go back to full health. Now, you don't get your ammo back or anything, but you get healed up and everything. The other thing that'll happen is your corpsmen, any of your fellow soldiers, if they are wounded or dead in your fire team, the same thing will happen to them. So I could lose my entire fire team, be the only guy left, but if I trigger the next checkpoint,
Incoming A-10, ladies. Let's go
then
to ringside seat.
once I trigger the next checkpoint, sorry, they're talking in comms, and I'm trying to talk and listen to what I'm supposed to be doing, and it makes for hard giving the audio. My entire fire team could be dead. I trigger the next checkpoint, well, instantly my entire fire team is back alive. So you don't really have to worry about your fire team if they are stupid and they get killed. As long as you can progress by yourself,
Team,
you'll
head
be
out,
alright.
25 meters northeast.
Motivate.
So where does this game sit overall? Overall, it's not a great game, but it has some very interesting mechanics that make it a ton of fun. Here comes an A-10 rolling in for an attack run. If I hadn't gotten shot, we could be out ahead there and we could actually see where they're shooting at.
Got
But
a silhouette, 75 meters northeast. Team to me.
On my way to your 20.
come on,
Target
there we go.
neutralized. Reload.
And for that reason, I actually kind of like the game. Can I tell you it's a great game? No. It has quite a few flaws. It really is missing on some of that polish that you'd like to see from modern games and everything, especially for when it came out. It was a $60 title. It could not justify that price tag, and nobody should have bought it for that. I unfortunately did. But I bought it knowing pretty much I was probably overpaying for a game that was with bugs, because I'd bought the previous one, the Dragon Rising, and while at the same time I was disappointed with some of the bugs in that one, I was able to get my money worth out of it, because there's some times where I want the more milsim type, where I'm not a one-man army, but more just a member of a squad in a single player, but I don't want to deal with
Air
armor.
assets are standing by to drop. JDAM strikes ready. Call in your target.
And that is what I found this game does quite well. Now, if you're somebody that is not interested in first-person shooters at all, you're not going to find a whole lot of enjoyment here. If you're somebody that likes the one-man army type thing of the first-person shooter, if you like being that guy that has
Requesting combat support.
calling in an airstrike.
Roger that, Bravo. Call out your fire mission.
I'm gonna... Oop, that would have been bad.
Bravo team requesting combat support.
Come on.
Roger that, Bravo. Call out your fire mission.
This is Bravo.
I'm hitting this tree and I can't aim it.
Understood, Bravo. Go ahead.
Maybe here. Here we go. So I'm trying to get it right there.
Requesting combat support.
Roger that, Bravo.
I need JDAM cast mission.
Alright, we'll watch this airstrike coming in while I finish on my thought.
Confirm, Bravo. Gas inbound.
I might have missed that entirely.
Time on target is 20 seconds.
Had I, you know, if you're looking, if you don't like first-person shooters, this game is not going to convince you that they're great. So obviously, you probably have stopped watching this video already. If you're real big into the one-man army type stuff, if you love the Call of Duty type things, this probably isn't going to change your mind either. However, if you want something that falls in between, that gives you something more than Battlefield, but without going to the complications that can be Arma, that's where I find this game actually shines quite well. Now, you have to realize when you buy it what you're going to get. You're not likely going to get much multiplayer unless you can convince friends you know to buy it also. If you can convince them to buy it, you can get some multiplayer out of this and actually have some enjoyment, but you're most likely going to be buying the single-player campaign. The single-player campaign is going to be all up and down. You're going to have some terrific firefights, which I think we're going to be heading out there and assaulting that base now that we just striked. And it'll probably be a pretty darn good firefight. But there'll also be parts of it
Enemy contact.
where,
450
right
meters
there.
Northeast. He's down.
I'm going to have my guys move up there.
Head out. 75 meters northeast. Moving.
While they draw fire, I'm going to move up here and take some sniper shots. But if that's what you're looking for, you can pick this game up and you might find some enjoyment. You have to get around a little bit of the flaws of the game. Like I said, like the long points where you're just kind of riding in the back of Humvees with nothing going on, and so forth. But the firefights and
Head out. 25
the
meters
the
northeast.
combat is pretty darn good. Quite enjoyable. And that's where I kind of like it. Right now you can pick it up for $14, $15, $14.99. I don't know if I can recommend it for that price to much of anybody, unless you are a die-hard milsim shooter fan. If you are, then you probably already own this. However, I think for about $8 or whatever, for somebody looking for a different taste on the first-person shooter, there's definitely enough value here for about $8, maybe $10 worth of gameplay. I definitely could see that as a possible value. So that's kind of where I sit with the game. Overall, I would say for like the average person, this game is about a 5 out of a 10. For a first-person shooter fan, it's about a 6 out of a 10. For a milsim fan, it's probably about a 7 out of 10. Take that for what it's worth. Obviously, your own personal preferences are going to change quite a bit there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut my mic here, and 100 meters north. I'm going to just finish playing through the rest of this mission. Once this mission is done, either I die or we complete it. I'll go ahead and edit that in afterwards, so you can get an idea of the gameplay when I'm not trying to also talk. I'm going to turn the audio assets back up so you can hear the comm chatter going on and everything, and we'll pick it up from there. So, yeah, this has been Operation Flashpoint Red River. This has been Paller. Thanks for watching.
Team, blast my target!
No need to ask twice. Stop shooting. That's our team.
Team, blast my target!
Roger that.
Team, let's go!
I'm Oscar Mac.
AT gunner, 150 meters south.
Pressing. Team, push, push.
I'm on it.
Team, smoke them out of that building. 25 meters north.
Roger, I'm on it. Rifleman, 25 meters east. Go, go, go!
Rifleman, 50 meters east. Outlaw 2, this is Outlaw. I need an update. Did the J-Dam and A-10 strike clear out the line?
Affirmative, Outlaw Actual. There were a few stragglers, sir, but we cleared them out. Moving to the second line now.
You're not done yet, Outlaw 2-1. We've got some more air support freed up for you. This is a limited time offer, Staff Sergeant. Actual out.
Then we'll take what we can get. Out. Strike package standing by, Bravo. Sight them in and drop that shit.
I've got a silhouette. 300 meters north. This is Bravo team. We need combat support.
Roger that, Bravo. Call out your fire mission.
Give me disruptive CAS mission. 550 meters north of my position.
Confirm, Bravo. Cash inbound.
Roger that. Estimated time on target is 20 seconds.
Nice shooting, Tex.
Bravo team requesting combat support.
Understood, Bravo.
I need disruptive CAS mission. 550 meters north of my position.
Roger, Bravo. Support aircraft inbound.
Roger that. Estimated time on target is 20 seconds.
Good eye, Bravo. Right up their asses.
This is Bravo team. We need combat support.
Understood, Bravo. Go ahead.
Give me disruptive CAS mission. 550 meters north of my position.
Acknowledge, Bravo. Birds on the way.
Roger that. Estimated time on target is 20 seconds.
You're done here, Bravo. Move down the ravine and support the main assault. Clear out those insurgents.
Team, rally up here.
On my way to your 20.
Team, push forward. 75 meters north.
Rolling.
Think I see something. 450 meters north.
Rifleman, 75 meters northwest. I'm taking fire over here!
Fucked him up!
Team, help Taylor!
Look, I never said I could work magic.
Team, to me.
On my way to your 20. Rifleman, 50 meters north.
Rifleman, 400 meters, northeast.
In the ground.
Reloading.
Bravo, move your asses across to that compound and blast them out. Those fucks are laying serious damage into the main force's flank.
Target neutralized. Sniper, 300 meters north. Target neutralized. Team, push, 50 meters northeast.
Moving out.
Suppressing. Suppressing.
Watch your step, Bravo. You're gonna get a real short experience of being in the airborne.
Team, move your ass 75 meters east.
I'm on it.
Dead. Suppressing. Weapon suppressing. Jam, cover me. Weapons clear. She's back firing. Suppressing. Keeping their heads down. Team, blast my target.
Roger that.
Team, push, 50 meters east.
Moving out.
Fucked him up. This is Alpha Team. Pouring the lead on him now.
Dead.
Team, let's go.
Moving.
Reloading. Rifleman, 50 meters, northwest. Target pacified.
Outlaw Actual, this is Outlaw 2-1. The mountain compound has been neutralized and we are clear to proceed. Over.
teacher's pet. Bravo gets all the fun. All we ever get is the shit details.
I thought I joined the Marines, not the Coast Guard. Why's Bravo get to kick ass and we get to take names?
Because you needle dicks couldn't hit the broadside of an elephant with a buffalo.
Okay, Alpha, we'll see about that. I got $20 that says 2 Charlie takes out more insurgents than 2 Alpha.
Ha! Son, I'd take that bet. Except I know you got 5 kids from 5 different baby mamas to feed. Ha! Oh!
Come on, put up or shut up.
All right, make it a month's supply of MRE jalapenos with cheese and crackers, and you're on.
Done. Get ready to go hungry, biatch.
You motherfuckers are too loud. You'll never eat again if an insurgent sniper pops your ugly grape off your shoulders. Now lock it up.
That's it. The main force is down.
Leave security to the underprivileged and get to the next line, most Ricky motherfucking tick. Outlaw, this is Outlaw 2-1. We have secured the second line and are now moving to the main insurgent base.
Affirmative. You have permission to take the Tajik insurgents out with extreme prejudice. Have fun. Actual out.
Bravo, we're pushing toward the insurgent stronghold. Get across the ravine and start clearing those fucking buildings ASAP. Alpha, Charlie, move along the road on this side of the ravine towards the main insurgent base.
This is Alpha Team. It's raining hell over here.
This is Charlie Team. Contact.
This is Alpha Team. We're under fire.
I've got a silhouette. 300 meters north.
They're laying down some serious lead.
Taking fire over here!
In the ground.
No shooting.
Rifleman, 150 meters, north.
This is Alpha Team. We're getting shot at.
I'm taking fire over here!
Target pacified.
This is Charlie Team. We got casualties.
Someone take out that fucking weapon emplacement.
Sniper, 250 meters northwest. Team, light up that rifleman.
Killed. On it. This is Charlie Team. Contact. I'd need to move to take that shot.
AT gunner, 200 meters north.
Fuck, I'm hit!
Dead.
No shooting.
Team, help Boletto.
Okay, that'll hold you. You're done. Back to it.
In the ground. Team, let's go 100 meters north.
Moving.
Rifleman, 200 meters north. Reloading. In the ground. Team, get over here.
Aye, aye. Move into your 20.
Team, haul ass. 50 meters north.
Keeping their heads down. Reloading.
Team, let's go!
Moving!
Team, smoke them out of that building. 50 meters east.
Coming in!
AT gunner, 50 meters east. I've been tagged!
Well, look at that. You did something right. I'll give y'all a cookie later. Bravo, move out to the next objective.
Clear.
They're packed in like virgins on prom night over there, Staff Sergeant.
Calling it in. Slow your roll. Outlaw, this is Outlaw 2-1. Requesting a danger close fire mission. Over.
Roger that, Outlaw 2. Wait 1. Outlaw 2, stand by. Over.
Copy that, Outlaw.
What's the fucking holdup? We're gonna get smoked out here.
Stay down. They're on it.
Outlaw 2, this is Outlaw. Air support is not available at this time. Over.
Copy that, Outlaw. Are we to proceed on mission? Over.
Affirmative, Outlaw 2. Proceed to assault the position.
Copy that, Outlaw. All right, Devils. We're not getting any air cover anytime soon. And we're assaulting on foot. So, mag check, reload, and what's rule number 1?
Don't get shot.
Very good. Now, let's see if you can take what you've learned and move past the classroom into Prac App.
Fuck. This should be fun.
So much for the on-tap air support. Yeah, more like open, flat, and stale support.
Lock that shit up. You all whine worse than my kids. Cowboy the fuck up and let's do this.
We got casualties!
Hold up, hold up!
Team, head out. 150 meters northeast.
Heading there.
Dead!
Seriously, couldn't just be a few teepees and a campfire, could it? Would that be too much to ask? Just once?
This is Alpha Team. They got our range.
Sniper, 50 meters northeast.
Fire!
Ooh, I've been tagged!
They're shooting at me.
This is Charlie Team. We're under fire.
Got him. This is Alpha Team. They're laying down some serious lead.
Rifleman, 250 meters southeast.
This is Alpha Team. We are losing Marines here.
This is Charlie Team. They got our range.
Target neutralized.
It's raining hell here. This is Charlie Team. We've got wounded.
Team, open fire on the rifleman.
Roger, got it covered.
This is Alpha Team. We're getting shot at.
I can't do that unless I move.
We're taking heavy fire.
Sniper, 200 meters east.
This is Charlie team. We're getting shot at.
Possible contact, 300 meters east. Team, rally up here. Team, to me.
I'm on my way. This is Alpha Team. We're getting shot at. We are losing Marines here. Stick to the mission parameters, Bravo. You work through the low ground. We'll take the upper sector.
Reloading.
Reload. Team, haul ass, 50 meters east.
I'm Oscar Mike.
This is Alpha Team. Contact. They're attacking us here!
This is Charlie
Team, head out, 25 meters northeast.
moving.
Watch your six! This place is so fucking crazy, I feel like a rat in a maze. And the last thing I want is some Taji douche popping me in the ass.
Suppressing your mark.
This is Alpha Team. We're under fire!
This is Charlie team. Contact.
Team, move your ass 50 meters northeast.
On my way.
In the ground.
Suppressing.
Rifleman, 50 meters east.
Sniper, 250 meters northeast.
Target pacified. Rifleman, 50 meters east.
Team, push, 75 meters northeast.
Moving out.
KIA!
Suppressing.
Team, smoke them out of that building. 20.
Take out that RPG!
This is Kirby. Corman, this is Kirby. Fucking hell. Corman, I got tagged.
Kirby's been hurt.